At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Caught me mid-sip, but good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Krueger every weekday morning at 7 a.m. right here on Weather NorCal. So glad you could join us here this morning. And, you know, I hope you've been getting out there and enjoying that beautiful weather we've been experiencing. And we've got more of the same here today. We've got more of the same tomorrow. You know, this is kind of one of those catch-22 type of situations because it's great to get out there, enjoy this beautiful weather. But I know a lot of people are concerned and have those concerns that when we start seeing dry weather patterns like this during the winter, or we're really officially not in the winter, although we're meteorological winter, but we're not in the astronomical winter. That being said, you know, we typically we're in the wet season. So people like to see the wet weather so we can fill our lakes and we can have water and all that good stuff. But at the same time, it's always nice. I think back in the early days of forecasting weather, we used to just embrace and be happy about these sunny skies and beautiful temperatures and all the good stuff that kind of comes out of it. But then, you know, we started getting more serious about drought and things of that nature. And of course, what that does for the fire season and all that. So bottom line is just get out there and enjoy it. We got our regulars checking in this morning. We got James and Handy. Let's check in with some of you and see what you got going on this morning here. We've got, well, it looks like Ruth Sanchez saying, good morning, everyone. Hope you have a fantastic day. We've got James and Mandy Chapel. And you're saying good morning this morning. Good morning this morning. We've also got David Hoffman saying GM. I'm assuming that means good morning. We're in a day and age where we can, you know, kind of shorten everything out of here. Good morning, everyone, from Chappie, Debbie Mitchell. So glad you all could join us and saying good morning and good morning to you all. And good morning to those of you that are watching on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. You may not be able to interact, but if you want to, all you got to do is get on Facebook, get on YouTube, and you can interact there as well. And if you're on YouTube on your TV also, you can't interact unless you can type things into that comment section. But always enjoy those comments and see what everybody is going and doing on out there. I can't speak this morning for some reason. All right, let's get to Krueger's Quick Cast this morning for your Tuesday, December 3rd, which, by the way, for me, this is kind of an exciting time. We get closer to December 6th, which is St. Nicholas Day. Some of you may celebrate that. That's something I celebrated as a child, and of course, I've been passing that tradition on to Aiden as well. So 3 more days until St. Nicholas Day, and of course, well, I won't be around. I'm going to be leaving on a trip this Thursday, so we'll see. All right, anyway, let's take a look at the temperatures out there right now, and you can see the temperature is around 29 degrees from Mount Shasta City, 41 in Shingletown, 21 degrees right now in Susanville, and Alturas about 27 degrees at the current hour. Let's take a look at that freezing fog advisory. You know, we've been looking at a freezing fog advisory the last several mornings since it feels like late last week. Essentially, this is the deal. So we've got those clear skies, and there's enough available moisture at the surface that this will allow us to really start to see the ability for fog to develop. And on top of that, with those cold temperatures, that fog can turn into freezing fog, which essentially with the surface temperature being below freezing, the water droplets in the clouds can on contact basically just turn into ice immediately. So just things to think about if you're traveling out and about. If you run into some fog out in the eastern mountains, do note that there is the possibility that those temperatures may be cold enough to produce some very slick road conditions. Taking a look at some of the visibility out there right now, you can see about quarter-mile visibility in the Hayfork area. That's also the case for Weaverville. So it looks like parts of Trinity County, we are starting to see some of that. We take a look at the camera. This is looking out at Elk Country, just north of Trinidad. And looks like we are seeing not much in the way of fog out there this morning. In fact, looks like plenty of sunshine actually this morning. Taking a look at Crescent City. This is the Harbor District. And look at that. I mean, I think I see a little bit of high cloud cover off there in the distance. Otherwise, we are talking about clear skies. Beautiful, beautiful weather out there on the coast. Don't see George yet this morning, but George may be making an appearance later on this morning. There again is look at Elk Country just north of Trinidad, and we, of course, take one last look at getting you out the door this morning. And what we're seeing here this morning at 8 a.m., the temperature is in the low 40s for the valley with sunny skies. There's going to be some of that patchy fog for some of us along the coast, but otherwise mainly clear skies as you saw there in Crescent City. Eastern Mountains, overcast skies, maybe some fog there as well, and maybe some freezing fog as well, and cold. We're talking upper 20s for Siskiyou, Modoc, and the Eastern Mountains this morning at 8 a.m. So be sure to bundle up as you're heading out the door this morning. Of course, probably looking at frost on your windshield if you don't have the luxury of a garage. That's, of course, for the higher elevations, not quite in the valley, as temperatures are right around 40. Here's your satellite image here. There's an approaching storm system. Looks nice, right? Looks healthy. But unfortunately, it's still butting up against a ridge of high pressure, and that's going to mean dry conditions for us today. All right, there's a look at your 7-8, your current conditions, that is. No, that's not even your current conditions. This is your forecast for today. 67 for Redding, 63 in Oroville, 45 in Lassen Park. And there you can see out towards Alturas a temperature of about 50. And for the coast, upper 50s for your daytime highs. Looking now at your 7-day outlook. So temperatures are quite warm for the valley, upper 60s, maybe even around 70 by Thursday and Friday. I do expect temperatures to drop slightly. Now, couple things to notice is we're starting to see more clouds enter the picture by Thursday, and especially this weekend. And that is going to bring with it the potential for showers for some of us. And I want to stress the word the potential, because the chances are looking pretty slim. But you'll also notice going into the second half of the weekend and early next week, look at the temperatures. They're starting to drop. Now, this is a minor change that isn't going to have too much of an impact when we're talking about rain. And we'll talk about that in the deeper dive forecast, what all that means. But we take a look at the 7-day outlook for the coast, inland, Trinity County. Again, the added cloud cover, but still dry. Now notice I put the word chance in there. Now when I do that, just note that that means chance for rain, right? That's essentially what we're looking at. Now I don't have any raindrops probably from those clouds because a couple of things is the storm system is moisture starved. So it doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with. So even the rain it does produce in areas that it's going to be moving through, such as the Pacific Northwest, it's not going to bring a lot of rain or snow for that matter. And it's just clipping Northern California. So the North Coast, Siskiyou County, maybe Trinity County, seeing that chance. Otherwise, I think Modoc County and the Eastern Mountains, you're not really within that chance because it's just clipping Northern California. So that's taking a look at your 7-day outlook. Let's take a look at some of the cameras around the area. This is looking out at Lake Oroville. And this is looking out at the dam. It's the spillway. And things are looking pretty good there. I think a couple weeks ago they were doing some construction and some maintenance on it. Lake Oroville, North Forebay. Once again, clear skies. We've got just a beautiful looking lake there. It looks like some ducks or geese hanging out on the lake there. Let's take a look now at Main Street Chico on Highway 32. As usual, not a lot of traffic. Looks like we're about to see that light turn green for those cars as they head on across the intersection. There they go. All right, let's take a look at Highway 99 at Neal Road. And as usual, looks like we're just seeing the regular morning traffic this morning. Taking a look at Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive in Redding. Typical traffic, nothing unusual for this time of the morning. Hey, by the way, I asked you if you wanted to send your pictures, your Christmas or holiday pictures. Well, Chappie, she delivered. Take a look at that. That is quite a tree. I love it. That's great. I love it, when people really kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of go overboard on the ornaments, but that's great. That means you've got a lot of friends, you've got a lot of family, and a lot of ornaments. Because the cool thing about ornaments is you go through the years, you start acquiring them. And I can see on there some pictures and some ornaments that were clearly made by children. They could be her kids that are now adults, could be grandchildren. And it's just always, it's really neat. I was doing that with Aiden and the family this weekend. He's getting that age where it's kind of like, all right, whatever. But there's that sentimental value, too, to a lot of things with the pictures of him as a younger child, ornaments he made at a very young age. you're going to cherish those for years and years to come, especially during the holidays, right? Looks like she's got 2 trees, a little tree there off to the right. She's like, I don't have enough space on the big tree, so I've got to put another smaller tree up to put more ornaments on. And it looks like she's got a train going around that as well. So cool, I love that. Hey, by the way, if you want to send your holiday photos, very easy. Do it from the free Weather NorCal app. Send pictures of your house decorated. Send pictures of the inside of your house with your tree. Maybe you celebrate Hanukkah. I'd love to see how some people around here celebrate Hanukkah. You can do it from the free Weather NorCal app from your iPhone or from your Android. Just go to your app store, search for Weather NorCal, and download the app for free. Okay, let's tell you what. Let's get right into it and get into the deeper dive forecast. And then after that, we'll maybe address some of your comments and questions and concerns and all that good stuff, which there probably aren't any because beautiful weather out there. But as you know, Weather NorCal wouldn't exist without our sponsors. And Wind River has been supporting Weather NorCal for quite a while and came right on board with sponsoring all of Coffee with Krueger. So Wind River is the sponsor of Coffee with Krueger, making that possible. So at Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials, plus and specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, so thanks to Wind River. Let's get you to your current temperatures. Actually, before we get to the current temperatures, I want to go over the lake levels, and we'll kind of go over these here and show that we're continuing to see the lake levels rise. In fact, Lake Oroville over the last 24 hours, almost another foot on top of that. So obviously, a lot of that runoff that we've seen here, we're not seeing as much of that, but it's still trickling into the lakes. And most likely, I'd have to check, but I'd be willing to guess too that they're probably not releasing as much from the lake at this point either. But I mean, only 1/10 of a foot and 8/100ths of a foot of increase in that lake level for Trinity and Shasta Lake. But there you can see, of course, we're over the historical average. We are over the average there. So again, the lakes are looking pretty healthy, especially for this time of the year. 35 right now in Redding. It's quite chilly there. 39 for Chico, 44 degrees for Oroville. We've got 26 for Alturas, 21 in Susanville, and 29 degrees out in Mount Shasta City. Right around 40, give or take, along the coast. Once again, a freezing fog advisory out towards Lassen and eastern Plumas County here until 11 o'clock this morning. Be looking at some of that patchy fog out there, and should that fog develop, it could freeze on the surface and create slick roads. So just need to be a little careful this morning if you're traveling out there this morning. Cold mornings with areas of fog, dry and mild through the week. These are the same headlines I had yesterday because nothing's really changing much. We've got that slight chance for showers for the coast and some of the mountains here on Saturday, maybe even into Sunday. And I'm still seeing that potential for some changes by the middle of this month. So we've got a storm system off for a west, classic storm. You got what we call the occluded front. We got an area of low pressure, warm front. Here's the warm sector. There's the cold front. All right, so I got a little too technical. Bottom line, it's a storm. It's heading our way, but we've got high pressure in place. It's going to act like a brick wall. But here's what I'm going to say about this storm. Yes, it is going to kind of ride up and over the ridge of high pressure, but it will kind of break through that ridge of high pressure a little bit here and allow some clouds and maybe, just maybe, a few sprinkles to come in sometime around Thursday. But take a look at the overall trend. Here you are looking at that ridge of high pressure. There's that cold front I was just pointing out. See what's going to happen? You see how it just kind of moves up? But then there's another one coming in behind that. So that's coming in on Thursday. Now, as I mentioned, that cold front associated with that may hold on just enough strength to bring some sprinkles for parts of the North Coast on Thursday. For now, I'm not putting it in the forecast. I'm not putting it in the 7-day forecast, but it's something I'm watching. I was looking at some of the shorter range forecast models who was certainly indicating that. Maybe a little aggressive, but we'll see. But bottom line, still drier. There's that big ridge of high pressure that is still in place. Then as we go into the weekend, look what's happening. We've got an area of low pressure that's going to ride up and over the ridge, but it's also going to break away and break apart that ridge of high pressure. And we're going to start to see this dip in the jet stream right here. It's known as a trough. Okay. Now this is weak. Two things to take note. Number one, of course, as I mentioned, is very weak. Number two, it's fairly moisture starved. This is a cold storm system coming from the north, and typically we just don't have a lot of moisture to work with, even though it's coming from the ocean. It's a cold ocean, so there's usually not as much available moisture from that ocean. If it was a warmer ocean, like say the Gulf of Mexico, that is, yeah, you'd be able to get a lot more of that moisture from that warmer body of water. But a colder body of water, typically it doesn't tap into as much of the moisture over the ocean as it would, say, over a warmer body. But that being said, moisture starved and very weak. So you can see on Saturday, we've got this system kind of clipping. You see that right here? Extreme Northern California. But even the Pacific Northwest, where most of that rain and snow will be, it's very unimpressive. So if we see anything, and again, the key word is if we see anything on Saturday, it will be the coast, it'll be Siskiyou, it'll be Trinity County. And I wouldn't count on much, if anything. And then what's going to happen is that low pressure is going to take what's called an inside slider. You've heard me use that expression before. It's low pressure that kind of moves down from the northwest down to the southeast into the desert southwest. That's a classic setup, especially with high pressure building in behind that, for some gusty north winds that we could be looking at here for Sunday and into Monday. In the meantime, you'll notice there's another ridge of high pressure. What is that? It's a blocking ridge. So that prevents this storm from moving in next week. So that's why the Climate Prediction Center has us in the drier than normal category. You may recall, though, over the last few days, we were looking at a lot of these darker colors here. That's just saying that the chances for below normal rainfall are higher. And then as you start getting into the lighter colors, that's a slimmer chance of seeing below normal rainfall, but below nonetheless. This is saying, listen, it'll be near normal, and then possibility of seeing above normal wet weather, rainfall, right, off to our north and east. It'd be nice if we were in this, but it doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon. Same situation here too. We're in that warmer than normal category, and really just warmer than normal over the western United States. So I don't see much change here over the next 7 to 10 days, but beyond that, we may start to see some of that. Now, here's one thing that I'd like to point out too at the 10-day trend. It's warm. I mean, we're getting close to 70 for Redding for Thursday, Friday. But take note, the temperatures, I was just checking my microphone. Take note, the temperatures are starting to drop, and we're in the low 60s as we go into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we're going from mid to upper 60s to low 60s by next week. What this tells me is that the ridge is not as strong, and that may allow and give some storms that are going to be coming in from the west, and from the Gulf of Alaska in particular, and the west in the eastern Pacific, to maybe at least bring a chance for some wet weather. So sometime around the middle part of this month, we may start to see some of those changes, but nothing set in stone, nothing guaranteed at this point. I'm not seeing anything that's really strong. So yes, I'm seeing chances for showers in the next 2 weeks, but nothing all that impressive. I'm not seeing any storms that stand out and make me go, ooh, I'm going to have to watch this. All I'm really seeing are these weak disturbances passing through that, yeah, okay, could bring us a little bit of rain, but nothing to really add to what we could really use. All right, so let's get to the wave heights. And you can see here for today, fairly low. You have to look closely to see any kind of changes. It looks like they increase a little bit for your Wednesday, but not by much. All right, so your marine forecast, north winds at 5 to 10 knots, waves from the northwest at 2 feet at 4 seconds, and from the west at 4 feet at 13 seconds. No advisories are in the forecast. All right, so here's what we have in store for us today. Your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. We do have, now what I've done here is for Trinity, the North Coast, and Siskiyou County. You'll see the chance in there. And again, remember what I said about that. A chance. And there's a very good chance you may not even see anything. But just kind of a heads up that I don't want you to be surprised if on Saturday, hey, it's raining a little bit. Yeah, there you go. You won't be surprised because you saw it right here on Weather NorCal. But there you can see temperatures upper 50s, low 60s. 60 degrees for Douglas City, 57 degrees for Lewiston. We take you out to the south, kind of the same situation. Hayfork, there's your 7-day outlook. Low to mid 60s here for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the temperature dropping again here for Sunday and into Monday of next week. Here's your North Coast neighborhood forecast for southern Humboldt County, 66 in Garberville, as well as Miranda, 64 degrees for Redcrest. We take you out to Ferndale, all the way down to Rio Dell on the Highway 101 corridor there. And temperatures right around 60, give or take. 62 degrees for Blue Lake, 61 for Willow Creek, 60 in Hoopa, 62 degrees in Trinidad. 59 for a high today in Klamath, 61 for Gas Key, and there's Smith River with a high of about 64 degrees. Here's your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, and there you can see along the Highway 96 corridor there, we're looking at temperatures in the low to mid 50s. So cold, especially out towards Wairika, Montague, out towards Gazelle, you're talking about a temperature of 36 degrees, struggling to get out of the 30s if at all. Now for Scott Valley, probably more like the low 40s, maybe even some mid 40s, like 45 for Greenview, 44 degrees for Callahan. And places like Weed, too, also very cold, struggling to get out of the 30s if at all. Otherwise, you're looking at mid 40s for Mount Shasta, 50 for Dunsmuir and McLeod, about 55 degrees. Your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the 40s for most of us. You can see out towards Cedarville, about 38, 39 for Newell, and 49 degrees for Alturas. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, you can see out towards Bernie. Temperatures, yeah, a little bit warmer by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they start to drop, especially by the second half of the weekend. 57 for Shingletown, 61 degrees for Paynes Creek. Lake Elminor, out towards Lassen Park. Temperatures are going to be probably somewhere in the low 50s. Places like Chester, 51. 49 degrees out towards Lake Elminor West, and 45 degrees out towards Summit Lake. There's your Eastern Mountains to the south. You can see Paradise. You're looking at temperature of about 62 degrees today, 51 for Greenville, and looks like pretty cold out in Susanville, the high of about 34. Here's your Valley neighborhood forecast brought to you by Walgamuth Painting. Your temperatures in the mid-60s, 66 degrees for Red Bluff, 65 out in Chico, 63 for Oroville, and 62 degrees for Gridley. Up north, 67 for the city of Shasta Lake, 66 in Whiskeytown, and 67 degrees in Anderson. All right, there's your 7-day outlook for Redding, and you can see temperatures in the upper 60s by the time we do get into really upper 60s to low 70s here through Friday. And I say low 70s because if we see 70, I wouldn't be surprised, especially on Friday. And then temperatures dropping after that. Yeah, we are going to see a dip in our temperatures, but nothing major. You're going to notice more clouds. In fact, you'll notice more clouds even as early as Thursday, but staying dry. It looks like clearing out a little bit by Friday, and then looks like more clouds once again over the weekend and even into early next week. But again, take note, we're also noticing that those temperatures are starting to drop a little bit here as we go into especially Sunday and into Monday of next week. That's a look at your in-depth forecast. If you have any questions, be sure to, of course, write them in the comment section below here. I'm just going to check in some of your comments here. Looks like, oh yeah, so we'll take a look at this now and we'll kind of go into, oh, there it is. Yeah, up in here. Let's do that. Let's have a little fun. We're going to go back to Chappie's picture here because people are kind of talking about it and have a little fun with it. Let's get to it. And there it is. Get that loaded up. Pop it up on your screen. And there you have it. There's her Christmas tree. So she's got two. And so Chappie is saying the smaller tree, here, let's get her comment up on the screen here. This is what she's saying about it. She's saying the smaller tree is a grandkid's tree. All homemade ornaments. Look at that. I love it. I absolutely love it. Then, of course, you got the big adult tree up there to the left of that as well. So that's pretty cool. James is saying to her, awesome tree, Chappie. Yeah, all right. People are loving it. And then, of course, Catherine is saying, love to see the Christmas decorations. I got a red bow up. Maybe this will get to put more up. Maybe she'll put more up. Yeah, maybe. And, of course, we've got Tom Fraser saying, good morning, everyone, and enjoy your day. Well, thank you, Tom. And thank you all for the lovely greetings this morning. And, you know what? Another thing I want to mention, and remind you, is that today is Giving Tuesday. Now, there is an organization, and I would like to mention an organization that I would love for you to maybe consider. If you haven't considered an organization or nonprofit to give to, I'd like to make a recommendation. But first, before we get to that, I want to show you there's a really easy way. In case you're kind of hearing about this for the first time or you're just kind of forgetting about it, very easy for you to find a link on where you can find all the different places that you can donate to. So let's do this. I am going to load up weathernorcal.com. I'm going to take you over to it here. Of course, here is the page. weathernorcal.com. Now look on the right side of that page here. See where it says Give with Heart? This is December 3rd today, norstategives.org. You click on that link, and look at that. You can search and donate. You can go all in here, and you can find all the different organizations that you can donate to. You can see Give with Heart. Chris Flynn, Anonymous, gave $50 to the Great Northern Services. Brian Frick gave $50 to Stable Hands in memory of Mary Ann Frick. Donna gave to the Good News Rescue Mission. One Safe Place, Haven Humane Society got a $50 donation. SNP got $50 as well. So this is really neat to kind of see that different organizations are getting all of their donations. So you can click on Find a Cause and look at all these, all right? There's so many. So you think about all these great organizations that you may not even know about. So maybe kind of go through here and do some research. I mean, even if you don't have a lot, you know, $10. $10 goes a long way, especially if 100 people give $10, right? That's a lot of money. So, you know, just kind of think about this. Now, here's one organization I would love for you to consider. For over 10 years, I have been a strong supporter of Kids Turn. And you can see here, you can donate in here. What Kids Turn is it's an organization for really focusing on the kids, which is why it's called Kids Turn. Is for any of you, and I'm assuming a lot of you, have probably been impacted by divorce. I myself have, both with my parents and also in my first marriage. And it can have a big impact on the kids. I remember it having a big impact on me as a kid. And Kids Turn, what it does is it gives you the tools on how to work collectively as co-parents to make it the best experience you can for your child. And I personally came out of this program, and it was a big, big help. Aiden's mom and I co-parent, and we get along. And that's one of the things that Aiden actually kind of brags about to his friends, like, oh, my parents get along. You know, they're divorced, but they get along, and they're still friends, blah, 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 right? So it had an impact. And so this program is near and dear to my heart. So if you have it within you to donate $10, $25, $50, $100, $1,000, whatever money you have would be greatly appreciated for Kids Turn. So again, I just wanted to kind of mention that. I'm also going to, on my Facebook page, let's see here, let's go here. I'm going to go on my Facebook page, and I will also have at 10 o'clock this morning, it's called the Power Hour from 10 to 11. That's when it's going to be most effective. So all you have to do is just, you know, go to the Facebook page and then click on the link that I provide in Facebook at 10 o'clock this morning, and you'll be able to go directly to the Kids Turn Foundation, Kids Turn Shasta Cascade. So check that out. But once again, I'd like to encourage you to go to weathernorcal.com, and then from there, there's a link, Give with Heart, norstategives.org, and then that will take you to their website. And you can see how much money has been raised even before Giving Tuesday, $225,541. So Giving Tuesday is a great time of the year for you to think about donating. Any money that you may have obviously would be greatly appreciated by any organization. Okay, well, tell you what, let's get to, and before we get out of there, here we go. Let's get to that. And that's going to wrap it up. Is it? Yeah, that's where we want to be. Okay, well, that's going to do it for us this morning, folks. So glad you could join us this morning on Coffee with Krueger. Once again, this is on every morning at 7 a.m. live. You can watch many different ways. In fact, any platform I'm on, you will be able to watch this program. You'll be able to watch anything that I do. weathernorcal.com is a good place to start. Free Weather NorCal app. There is on the app, and I'll just kind of show you. Eventually, I'm going to make this a lot easier and cooler. But from the app, you can see right here. Oh, let's see what's going here. See right here? Ooh, right there. live channel. Tap on that, and then it takes you to the website. Now, you can just give it a few seconds, and it will load. Turn your phone this way, and now you're watching the 24-hour streaming channel. You're watching me live. How cool is that? So I just wanted to share that with you. Also, you can watch from Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. If you have either of those devices, go to that app store in there. Just search for Weather NorCal. Before you know it, you've got it for free. YouTube is another great resource. You go to YouTube, and you can click on the live channel. Now, here's a cool thing about YouTube. In fact, let me pull up YouTube on this, and I can show you what's going on with YouTube. A couple keyboards. There we go. We'll go to the home page. Okay, so when you go to YouTube, you see at the very top there, it says live. Click on that, and now you're watching live. Okay, I'm going to get out of there because I'm getting audio as well. But that's the live channel. You can watch that 24 hours a day. It's there all the time on YouTube. Now, the cool thing about YouTube, even from your TV, if you're watching from your smart TV, see my latest videos, you can watch all of my videos. There's my latest morning update that I just uploaded this morning. You can check that as well. Maybe you want to check out what it was the night before. You can also check out all of my neighborhood forecasts as well. I've got playlists in there. So I've got the, all the different neighborhoods forecasts that I update every morning. Coffee with Krueger. We've also got NorCal Ag. We've got Pet of the Week, Wonderful World of Animals. So a lot of other great sources of information there as well. Just some fun information like NorCal Ag, a great report on kind of focusing on a weekly report on different agriculture in the area. Pet of the Week, obviously, and Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. Sharon Clay, one of my good friends over there at Turtle Bay, we just highlight an animal once a week typically and kind of highlight an animal and have fun with that as well. So those are all things that you can take a look at and get into as well. Well, let's wrap up this show, shall we? Let's wrap up this show, shall we? I'm not going to sing because you don't want me to sing, trust me. But I'm going to get the music started. And we'll get that going. Is it going? Should be. You should be hearing it. Let me see. Why don't I hear it? Huh. I don't hear it. Interesting. Why am I not hearing it? Maybe, oh, that's why. Here we go. Now we should hear it. All right. Buttons and settings and all this kind of stuff. Well, that's going to do it for us this morning on Coffee with Krueger. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you again here tomorrow morning. A quick reminder, programming reminder is tomorrow, Wednesday, will be the last Coffee with Krueger for the week. Coffee with Krueger for the week, because I will be flying out of town. I'm going to Tennessee for a digital meteorologist conference. This is kind of the first of its kind. I'm very excited to be a part of it. I'll be one of the hosts of this event, and we've got 50 plus people coming from across the nation, including universities, checking out what it is that we do here. And this is going to be exciting time. So it's going to be time for me to kind of collaborate with other people, talk with like-minded people in what I'm doing here, and it should be a lot of fun. So one more Coffee with Krueger for the week by tomorrow, and then I've got Chase Wilson. He'll be filling in for me, doing the weather updates 3 times a day on Thursday and Friday, and of course he'll be here on the weekend, and I'll be right back here, back in Northern California on Monday with Coffee with Krueger. Until then, of course, until tomorrow, because I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., I'll see you tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger.